Okay, so you probably might have figured it out by now. It's not a Monday. This isn't a weekly vlog. So, but I did want to kind of like talk about this for a while because one thing I really like to do before my weekly vlog episodes is do a podcast episode. And as y'all can obviously tell, I only talk about my podcast like every so often on my on my on this thing. And the big reason why is because kind of like how OnlyFans went from this thing for artists to promote exclusive material for money became a sex thing. Podcasting, specifically for men, or I'm guessing in my category, unattractive black men, became this a thing from getting your voice heard to misogyny, just straight up misogyny. Now, the reason that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't really want to promote my podcast too much. I don't want people to think, oh, he's just another misogynist, like put more fuel to the fire for the gender wars. And it's like, no, that's not it. That's like the only people who I diss in my whatchamacallit is the right wing, the Republicans, those guys, because they are terrible. Um, oh yeah, you're a liberal. It's like, no, I'm not a liberal. I just don't like you guys. I mean, I don't like those guys either, but you guys, y'all do way too many bad stuff. Tennessee trying to pass a law to make child marriage okay. Come on, man. But no, there's that's not what this is. I wanted to take this time to talk about the misogyny world of the internet. They call it the Manosphere, and now a little history, well, a little backstory to this. All right, so I didn't know who Andrew Tate was. I don't know who Andrew Tate was. I didn't know who Kevin Samuels was. I don't know who these guys are because I don't follow that part of the internet. I think that part of the internet is annoying, loud, and hostile. So, but like, apparently this dude got like, it was an NBC article basically saying, no, this guy got kicked off of Facebook and whatchamacallit. And the thing that went through my mind was, like, when I initially saw this guy and heard his name, I just thought he was some right wing dude. I just thought he was just basically a younger, skinnier Alex Jones, right? And no, it turns out that like a lot of people, it turns out that he was just, this misogynistic, weird dude who promoted grooming and all this other stuff. I don't know specifically the details about what goes on with him. I just know a lot from what his detractors have brought up. So, like, but like the thing is, I have a friend who is a fan of his, and I posted it up on my Facebook because that's how I communicate with the outside world when I'm not working. And he just comes in. He's more successful than you are, and I'm like, I mean, everyone is. That doesn't mean I have to respect him for it, though. Like to put it in perspective, I'm a poor black man living in the South. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in some way, shape, or form is more successful than I am. I'm still going to respect who I respect because of who they are as a person, not because of their success, though. That's just not how I operate. I'm not going to be like, oh, wow, you have a whole bunch of money. You are God. No. But in any case, though, like, I mean, like, I started to, like, the way this guy was talking while he was trying to sort of explain to me how women need to be held accountable for what, I don't know. I realized that there's a whole coalition of people like this. And, like, I know where it came from. I know specifically where it came from. I know what motivated this because I was this close to being part of that community. When I was a kid growing up, girls used to reject me all of the time, because I was skinnier back then, but I still looked, you know. I so it's like girls used to like look at me and just be like, I'm immediately not their type, and I used to be upset about that. And I did I did kind of, you know, lash out because I used to think that they were just being. I used to never. I knew that there was something wrong with me, but I used to always think that it was just because they were shallow, and they're shallow because they're mean. They like their guys tall because I was short. They like their guys. They like their guys beefy because I was not beefy. They like the guys dark skinned because obviously I'm not getting any darker than this. It was a lot going on there. It's like, in my brain, it was just like I wasn't manufactured to be the guy that women wanted. and I was surrounded by guys that women wanted, and I was just not that guy. I remember one time a girl I had a crush on ended up dating a guy who everybody said looked similar to me, and I just remember being just so upset about it. Like it was heartbreaking, and it took a long time for me to accept the fact that I'm not their type, and sometimes that answer is good enough. So now when I have a crush on a woman, I just say I'm not her type and just keep it moving. But the thing is that but it's like with these guys, they feel like, oh, women have to be a certain way for us to want them. You know, these are the same guys, by the way, and it's like these are the same guys, by the way, who every so often will post a picture of a model that they have absolutely no intention on even like talking to. You know what I'm saying? And they'll say some stuff like, I love this type of woman. This type of woman is what I need. This type of woman is what I want. And it's like, go tell her, bro. That's what I would do. I would just be like, okay, if this is the woman that you want, does she know? Spoiler alert, they don't tell her. Because it's not even that they want the woman, is what they want, an image. They want something that, because like chances are the woman that they want is probably A, gonna look completely different without the makeup on or whatever, or B, it's probably gonna have an attitude that they just weren't expecting. It's like they don't care about the woman as a person, they care about the woman as an image, as a picture, as a sexy picture to pull one out to. And you know and these guys be like, oh, women need to go back to, paint, cooking and cleaning and all this other crap, and they need to play a role in all this other crap. And I'm just like, I don't understand that. It's like, growing up black, I realized that was like a whole Christianity thing. And, normally nowadays you can just sort of equate most Christian traditions to white supremacy. And, I mean, it's like men are supposed to be providers. And it's like, then go provide, bro. Like, don't complain to her about, like, not being a provider or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was always taught to view marriage as a team sport, so to speak. Not necessarily a leader and follower type of situation, but like everybody, not really everybody has their roles, but everybody can sort of work together to get something done or whatever. And the problem is that like the man is the head of the household concept is kind of stupid to me, because I've seen how irrational guys get when it comes to just basic concepts. It's like, it's really like, like some guys are just, truth is most guys are, if not more emotional than most women, than they claim the women to be. And the thing that really stresses me out about that is that like guys will never, like, toxic masculinity has basically made it okay to just put your fingers in your ears, scream as loud as you can, and go, I am a man! And that's a bigger deal than it's supposed to be! It's not. Because if a dude was to encounter a trans dude, nobody would care. Trans men are invisible to these types of guys. So, like, I also don't like the idea that they like promote the concept that being a man is a bigger thing than it is. It's not. It's just like, like if you're a dude, you know what I'm saying, that's all there is to it. You're just a dude. You just happen to have a swinger. You just happen to have a working swinger. You just happen to, call yourself a dude. You know what I mean? It's just like, at no point should that even be as big. Like, putting your gender, making how you feel about your gender into a mood for yourself. It's just the most annoying thing on the planet, because it's like women provide too. You can't, like, one thing, I was having a discussion with a guy a long time ago, and he was talking about how the strongest man in the world, the strongest woman in the world probably can't outlift the strongest man in the world, And I'm like going, okay, but can you outlive the strongest woman in the world? You know, this isn't about me. This isn't about me. It's like, yeah, it is. The whole concept is that like you're trying to make it seem like men are superior to women, but you can't even say that you're superior to a woman. So what are you saying? But that's just it's stuff like that that just kind of always annoys me. Like and I'm not, like I said, the women are the women are a little bit guilty here because like I don't want to say like I'm not blaming women for anything, but I will say that once upon a time, there was a narrative being pushed that women liked that guy's tall, muscular, hairy, white, and it was kind of like it was kind of this thing. There was kind of like this ideal man that was being pushed, and the thing was that like I don't know who started this. I don't know who started this trend because it could have been the women just saying this is the kind of man that we want, or it could have been guys kind of just sort of using that image of what they think the perfect man is as motivation towards them trying to get to that level, and probably not getting to it built some resentment up. I'm not sure, but like my biggest issue with the discussion that me and my friend had about okay, a little bit of backstory here. A friend of mine actually I posted up an article about Andrew Tate getting off of Instagram or what you're calling that. I don't follow that stuff. I don't know who Andrew Tate is. I don't know who Kevin Samuels was. All I know is that like I do remember like people on my wall was like kind of posting these guys up all the time, and it's weird, man. It was weird stuff. It was weird women hating stuff, which I just find to be bizarre because how you gonna how you gonna talk smack about the thing that you're trying to end? Is weird to me. Like I can and it's like, well, the women do it to us, and that's okay for you guys to do it back to them. Come on, man. That's the most emotional response I ever heard. But like I posted up an article about it. The article about it because as long as I've been alive, like a lot of people get like banned off of Facebook. A lot of people get banned off of Twitter and Instagram and all this other stuff. But it never really makes headline news. So this guy did, and I don't know. It was just like, okay, no big deal. I don't care. But this happened. And this guy and my friend comes up to me. He's more successful than you, and women just need to be held accountable. But he would never answer what women need to be held accountable for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, women have it easier than men. That's the thing that he was trying to push, was that women have it easier than men in America, a country that's literally trying to force them to have children. You know, it's weird, man. The manosphere is a weird concept to me because it's like it's basically what I think it is and what I believe that it is ultimately just a bunch of bi-curious men who have been so like wrapped up in toxic masculinity that they can't sexually experiment without feeling like they're sort of betraying their manhood, and because they're bi-curious, loaded up on toxic masculinity, so all they know is anger and Schadenfreude. The only emotion that they have is anger and Schadenfreude, and then they're promoting this idea that women's lives are easier than theirs are. You're saying you got like this whole thing kind of being, you got like all these images being thrown at you at once that rather than like explore your bi curiosity to see if it get that out of your system, you're basically saying the women are not womening right. And it's like, and women are just sitting there like, what the heck do we do now? You know? Well, if I reject a woman, then does that mean that I'm also being objectified or being pained or whatever? It's like, dude, if you reject a woman, you're just a guy who rejected a woman. If you're a guy who rejected a woman and posted it up online like, I rejected a woman today, then yeah, I mean, like, the alarm is going to flash in my head like, why are you proud of that? maybe it's just me though. Maybe that's just my perspective of the situation. But like, I just know that I didn't care for Andrew Tate. I didn't care for Kevin Samuels. I don't care for the Manosphere. I don't care for this whole thing about like just being angry at women for just existing in a way that you don't find that you're not comfortable with. Because in my opinion, that's just a weird thing. And I like now I'm pretty sure after some people are gonna see this video, they're gonna call me a simp or whatever. And it's like, go ahead, call me one. Well, you're just trying to soften up to women so they could have sex with you. It's like, dude, look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy that women want to have sex with? I have a girlfriend. And before I had that girlfriend, I'm pretty sure no woman looked at me and said, that's the guy I'm totally gonna just into. I mean, dude, it's not even like I'm not trying to get any sexual favors from women by treating them with respect or just leaving them alone. I'm just, I'm just a little annoyed that we live in a world where guys can get angry at women for being themselves and then have the nerve to say women are too emotional and sensitive, and then in the same breath go, but they're always calling us names. They're always saying that we're the bad guys. Well, we should get angry at them and tell them that they're the bad guys. That doesn't sound emotional to y'all? Alright, I'm out. Rant's over.